The global movement of tribal families, or what I called is the ARX sovereign circle. I will give you just some information. What is actually the ARX sovereign circle? The ARX sovereign circle is actually my mission. And what is my mission? My mission is to help families, especially in the newer generation, to become a strong tribal family, to become or to evolve also towards to a sovereign family. Why is this so important today and also tomorrow? You know, we will see over the next decade, and I've explained it in many of my videos and also in my Global Wisdom Talk, we will see an increasing amount of more families with significant wealth. And all of these families have one in common. They have the challenge to overcome these three-generation conflict. The question is more, how do you deal with these painful, hurtful generational conflict? What I figured out is that in many families, they think there is an automatic process behind. And it is a big pain in many of these families. But if you become aware of that isn't just an automatic process, you have the free will in your hand when it will occur. That is just a different perspective to approach. On the other hand, there's a newer generation raising up of entrepreneurial families with a complete different mindset. They do things more intentionally. They're looking for more stronger impact. They raise the question, okay, how we stay relevant, how we stay significant, how we can secure positive influence over generations. And in many families, from my discussion, I've observed, they raise the question, okay, is there any systematic approach available? Is there any structure available? And in many cases, there isn't just a structure, there isn't just a system available. And what I've pulled together is I've developed just a framework of a systematic approach to become a sovereign family, a tribal family for multi-generational continuity. And I've approached this and experienced this on my own self and at my own family. So from October the 7th until October the 10th, we will come together in the mountains, in the fjords of Norway as a strategic family summit. It's a very exclusive and intimate event. 5 global families come together and co-develop together with me and my colleagues these systematic approach. I call it just the family first tribal system. It is just a little bit based, maybe you know the book from Tim Collins, Great by Choice, Good to Great. Because it is not longer enough to be a good family. Over generations, you must become a great family. And that is just a little wake-up call for you and for many others to consider maybe how to become the next elite family. Maybe you hate the word elite. It could be. But raise the question, how do you become just the architect of tomorrow? How do you dominate some of the sectors what are important for us as societies over the next decades and centuries? I mentioned this in one of my previous videos: education, lifelong learning, medical, health, longevity, and all the other segments and brackets. Through these 2 days, we will co-develop these systematic approach. And it is not only to come together and discuss this. No, these 5 families will be the driving force of the global movement. They will help each other to implement, to execute the systematic approach over the next 6, 9, and 12 months. And to become a very strong family. And the main critical point and the main component of these approaches also, what I've mentioned also in one of my previous videos, is just shifting the perspective, thinking from the future, not from the past, and make change happen. And also ask yourself, what should be redefined in the family? How is the impact look like over the next 100, 200, 500, maybe in 1,000 years? I will give you just the instruments, the skill set also in your hand that you can develop your own sovereign family. Or if you are still there, how do you can preserve it? How do you can stay relevant? How do you can stay significant? How do you can stay competitive against other families? From the 7th of October until to the 10th of October in Norway, we will come together and we will start this global driving movement. It is necessary. Why? Because we as society, it doesn't really matter in the States, in Asia, in Europe, in Germany, we need these strong families. And it is also a great benefit to come together as a tribal family, because the cohesiveness, for example, is just even stronger. Conflicts will be solved better, and you have a stronger impact inside of your family, but also on societies and on other landscapes, what you want to address. So that is just a first information on this ARX Sovereign Circle Family First Tribal System event in October in Norway. I will come up with additional information for you about the program, about the system, but I will spread it not so wide, because that is only for them. They want to become the top of the food chain. It is not for everyone, to be honest, and to be clear, and I'm very transparent on this. It is just for them who want to achieve the top position, who want to achieve a dominating family over generations, to dominate a sector, to make a great impact, to change things for the good one. So that was my first announcement on these ARX Sovereign Circle. Maybe it is interesting for you. Maybe you consider to be part of this driving force, because there will be a second and the third. That kind of event will scale up. And to be part of a strong global movement, maybe that could be also part of your impact goal, what you want to achieve. If you want to have more information on this, please put a message in the comment and I will drop you a message directly with further information on this. I'm happy if that kind of information is very helpful for you and open the window for a new opportunity to come together also with other like-minded families. They have the same and common goal in mind. For now, until next, be great.